they did something extremely interesting. They showed up to Basel World with no watches. Back to Normalize Talking About Watches. We got Nikki C over there. Jojo, Mojo Jojo.
Hey.
Mojo Jojo is here.
Not bad.
Yeah, I'm just making up nicknames because I want one. And I'm not going to have one, but I'm going to have one. You know what I mean?
We'll get you one. Or we won't.
I'm not going to have one, but I'm going to have
you're
one.
not. You're not. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, 29 minutes, 13 seconds is on the clock. Got a cool topic today.
We got a bunch of cool topics today.
Involves what's on Joe's wrist.
Mainly, but you got something new on your wrist too.
Yeah, we can talk about mine first since this has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
Episode 15, by the way.
Happy 15.
Like, review, subscribe, comment, share, all those things.
Do it all.
We need the traction.
Do it all.
I'm wearing a watch that the podcast has never seen, but I've had for a long time, and I forgot about it. And that's pretty much the way this watch can be explained.
That is a great explanation of it.
It is the G-Shock Casio from IFL Watches. We'll link them in here so you can check them out. It's pretty cool, man. I don't know that you've ever like tried this puppy on, have you?
I've not. I've actually never worn a G-Shock. I'm ashamed to say it.
I got this watch for the days where I know I'm going to be like doing something where I might bump it into stuff, and I wanted to wear a watch. That's what I got.
Is it technically a one of one? Because like it's a hand painted dial, right?
It's not. Yeah, it's technically hand painted, but it's also, I believe, it's one of like, it's hand painted the same as another one. They do have ones where like each dial is hand painted and it looks a little bit different. This is, I think these are technically all hand painted the same way.
Right, but it's very still hard in a way. One of one, because like there's got to be some subtle differences.
I guess
in
there's a
each
chance that the
dial,
right, like there's a chance the artist made
a slight mistake,
or
just like something a little bit different
for clickbait purposes.
It's a one of one watch.
I'm wearing a watch that's one of one.
I think it's sick,
and you've just witnessed the title of this episode be conceived.
Yeah,
yeah. There's a chance it's like that, and honestly, that's what I thought was cool about it is that it's just different and it's bulky, but it's not too bulky to wear, which is cool. And like you can straight up run this over with your car. It's not going to break.
Wow.
Apparently.
Let's try that.
We could try that. This watch was like $200. So
I think they're under warranty.
Maybe
if they claim that.
I don't know that they claim that. I think remember the story the guy was telling us about how they got to the name G-Shock,
yes.
dropping it from the building.
We should throw this out of a building.
We could throw this out of a building.
That would be fun.
We could throw this out of a moving car off of a building. And then run over it. And then we'll decide how durable it is.
Do you understand a moving car off of a building?
I meant to say just throw it out of a building and then run over it with a car.
With a moving car. Yes. I was like, wait a minute. What car are we on top of a building with?
If this thing lasts through all that, because now I'm looking at it and is there a chance that the plastic, I guess it could absorb it. I guess that's the point, but I'm trying to look at
I think that's the function of it. That's the functionality of the G-Shock.
Yeah, is that it just it absorbs and eats it? I don't know, man. It's pretty cool. It's the sunburst dial, I think is what it's called. It's like a gradient of I want to say, I'm trying to look at it now, like yellow, like a light yellow to an orange.
Yeah.
Painted around the hour markers. And I wear it when I'm like painting, which I don't ever do. But like if we're working on like our house or something.
You know, it's also a good outdoorsy watch. Like you're going on hikes, you're going on, whatever. Like it's awesome. I still think I like the Hamilton better.
Yeah. I like the Hamilton better. This does serve.
That serves a lot of purposes because you don't have to worry about smacking it on rocks or whatever. I mean, your arms are flailing.
It's also got a timer. It's got a date.
Yeah.
Like you could run a stopwatch if you wanted. It has a date. It has a day of the week. It has the month. It has many, many time zones because it's digital. So like it's just cool in that sense. You can really play with it. Although I have not figured out how to set it. So the time is not correct, and it currently says it is Sunday.
You haven't figured out how to set it?
I did figure it out, and if you're out there watching and you know. It's
you know.
Because it's all digital, and there's like a couple buttons, so you have to like tap the button like 5 times, and then it gets you to the date, and then it resets. The way this thing works is insane. I challenge you to watch a YouTube video on how to set this watch.
Okay.
Because it's a nightmare.
Okay.
But apparently once you set it once, you're good. I've worn it so few times that I've never even messed with it.
Interesting.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
It's cool though. I like it. I'm probably going to take it off after this episode though and put on something else.
You should keep it on.
The only thing I have beef with it for is because it's a hot day today.
Yeah.
This gets a little weird. It's plastic. It's fully.
You should rock this.
Maybe I should rock that. Yeah,
I'll rock that for the rest of the day.
It's just you're gonna, if you want, you could try it, but it's on a hot day. It's plasticky and it's sticky and it's a weird watch to wear on a hot day. But if you want to test drive it,
that's weird.
You're more than welcome.
I don't know.
It's a little weird
to me.
It's weird.
Yeah.
You shouldn't wear it on a day like today.
Okay.
Tell me about that watch.
This is pretty special.
It's very cool.
So
we haven't had pictures of it yet, but we're gonna shoot them.
Yeah,
they won't realize that.
Literally shoot pictures of it right now after this. It's Friday morning, by the way.
Yeah, it's Friday morning. This episode's gonna be out in 48 minutes.
Yeah. So
after that clock's up and we
got some stuff to do.
Yeah.
So we're doing a short hour episode today, but
yeah.
A friend of mine has allowed me to borrow this watch, and this watch is actually for sale too. So if you know anybody, or if you're watching,
the price.
Yeah, if you're watching and you know of anyone, or if you personally would like to inquire, DM us and we'll put you in contact with the man himself. We don't necessarily do that, but I mean, I think in the future too, like anybody that has a watch that's for sale, you know, if you want us to feature it, like we'll feature it, we'll talk about it,
get you some photos.
We'll get you some awesome photos. Mm-hmm. It helps us get content.
Yep.
And we'll help connect you with somebody that would maybe want to buy your watch. So we'll help you get rid of something.
Yeah. And that's complimentary service.
Yeah, that is free from the boys at Normalize Talking About Watches.
Because I mean, it helps us to just get our hands on these watches and get to hang out with them and touch and feel, talk about them, get photos,
feel them, wear them.
So that'll be we'll trade that in exchange for helping you
and learn. So the first thing I learned about this watch. So first off, this is a Blancpain or Blancpain. Sorry, Blancpain.
Is that how you say it?
I don't know.
Me either.
Fuck. Blancpain.
Sure.
Blancpain.
Whatever.
It's Blancpain.
It's gonna be one of those two. So you said it right at one point.
Okay, I've said it right. Yeah. You know that I said it right at least once. I'm 50% here. 50 fathoms chrono, and it's all black ceramic.
It's cool.
So it's stealthy. The lume on this thing is pretty insane. One of my favorite parts about the watch itself actually is and maybe we can get like a video of it. And I'm not sure if we'll get a video or be able to get a video of it or not.
I can get a video.
Okay. Of the seconds hand. So, you know, the chrono, you've got your 3 dials, right? And it's got your standard 3 dial setup. Mm-hmm. And the bottom dial on a chrono, maybe it varies. I'm not,
well, some chronos have familiar. 2 dials. Like my Tudor has 2 sub dials.
Okay. And is one of them a seconds hand?
So one's a seconds hand.
And then the other's a timer.
And other's a timer.
Okay. So the seconds hand.
And then you have the chrono hand.
Right, the actual chrono hand.
Right.
But so the small sub dial, there is a small sub dial on chronos that is a seconds hand that's generally always moving.
Right. That's for the watch to tell time.
That's for the watch to tell time, and you can just seeing the minutes go by without having the chrono function rolling.
Exactly.
So on this one, something that's super interesting is it's actually got like a lollipop hand, like a lollipop lume on it. So you can
picture over my face because Joe's talking about it.
His face. So you can always see, the time moving, I guess. I mean, which is interesting. I mean, it's just a cool function. So this is like a luxury dive watch.
It's tough to see the
chrono hands.
It's really tough to see it on another watch because it's the tiniest little sub dial with a tiny little hand,
and it's there's not usually a lume on it, and it's very understated. This is cool because like you have lume on that hand. And I actually didn't really notice the lume until I wore this watch out in the sun. We were having breakfast this morning, and then we got in here, and I was like, holy crap, look at the lume on this thing.
And it's cool.
So it's really neat.
Yeah.
But so Blancpain or Blancpain, I'm going to go with Blancpain. That sounds cool.
Cooler.
That sounds cool.
Sounds like
so Blancpain is the oldest standing watch company.
What year?
Oh, fudge cakes.
I brought
17.
I'll get it while you're talking.
Okay. It's like.
I just want to say it because it's insane.
It's like early 1700s.
It's something like that.
Early 1700s, because I believe Vacheron's like 1755 or 1795.
I think it's 1756 and then 1736.
Okay, so
oldest watch.
I'm gonna wait on Nick to pull up that stat. Vacheron I know was second, but Blancpain was first, and they were. There's some really interesting stories about Blancpain.
1735.
1735, Blancpain comes onto the scene. Okay,
Insane.
I mean,
That's
for a
so
very,
long
very,
ago.
very long time. They only made one watch.
Right.
They
Which
might-
was?
this watch. They might still only make this watch. I'm not
Really?
sure.
No, I mean, that picture was a... Well, I guess I don't know.
The 50 fathoms.
It could change in looks, but like...
God, we should have done more research. I looked into this watch. This watch is badass. I love it.
What's the...
Before I lose my train of thought,
Oh,
here,
go ahead.
every single piece of this movement is finished in the back of this thing. So this is a
Over my
flyback
face
chrono.
again.
Give me 1 second.
Well, they're not going to be able to see it.
I know, but I just want to.
They may be able to see it. You could maybe, if you angle it towards the light, there's a chance it'll bounce off there. Yeah.
So this watch, it's got a open back. You can see into this watch, and there's a little guard piece that you can't quite see the entire thing at
What
all
is that
times.
for? We got to
I've
do some
never
research.
known.
I want to say that's the
They
balance.
It is like a balance because they spin. It's kind
I
of.
think that's the thing that like makes the
whole-
movement work.
yeah.
God,
So
we don't know
no matter-
anything.
We don't know anything, which is so much fun.
Yeah.
There's a cool thing about Blancpain. Every single piece, no matter if you can see it or not, inside of these watches is finished. Like they finish every single bit of their movement. They make their movements. They make about 100,000 movements per year, and only 20,000 to 30,000 of them go into their own watches. Now I don't know who they make movements for,
Oh, that's interesting.
but they make 20 to 30,000 watches every year.
Interesting.
And they make about 100,000 movements per year,
Very
which is very
interesting.
cool.
That's
Another
also not that much.
No, it's not that much.
So
that's a
that's
very
even-
small. They're a limited production company.
Yeah,
they're a
it's very
luxury
cool.
company.
That
This
watch is not
This is
inexpensive,
a
by the
luxury
way.
dive watch. This
Yeah.
is actually the first dive watch, to
And-
my knowledge. This came out before the Submariner.
Well, Rolex has only been around for 100,
This
100
came out,
and some years.
this came out before the Submariner.
That thing's been around forever.
First off, I love a true flyback chrono. Which is where you can press this top button to start the chrono, and then you can press this bottom button to start it back over. But one of the subdials, which is timing the chrono, so that the subdial that times the chrono generally has 30 at the top, 10 and 20, and that's minutes, right?
Yep.
So it'll when
it
you're
can
starting
time
a timer,
total
it'll
up
tell
to
you
30 minutes.
yeah,
That's what that means.
right. And then if obviously if you see it go by that, you would just understand that now you're at minute 40,
31.
or
Right.
40 or whatever. But so this watch, you can just time multiple things at once. So you can, start the chrono. You can keep the main time, but you can do lap timing if you wanted to do that.
If you wanted to
relative
do
racing,
like a total race, let's say we're racing and we want to do the total race, which is 3 laps.
right?
But you also want to time each individual lap as
Right.
well.
Exactly.
I guess that gives you the
do
power
something
to
like
do
that.
so.
But it's
Shit.
cool. Yeah, it's cool that you can do that.
Also, can
the
you
crown-
ASMR them the sound of pushing
Yeah,
in one
so
of those
the-
pushers?
Yes, I mean
Crickets,
we're
please?
just gonna be really quiet. We're gonna do both. Top one is first, and then this is the bottom one.
Was that a joke?
That was a joke. All right, that was not.
Someone,
the bottom one.
just
Someone
in case you
honked.
guys didn't
you
hear
guys
this,
didn't hear
as
that.
soon as we go quiet, and this is probably the first time we've heard a honk in this studio, someone just laid on their horn. So I think someone knew we were doing that.
Okay,
Anyway,
so here's the
silence,
bottom
please.
one. Here's the bottom one. Oh,
I hope it picks up as well on there. It
Yeah.
just sounds like
It's
this
so
watch is
crispy.
military.
Hey, we'll do
grade.
it. We'll do it again. I mean, it really is. It sounds incredible. The crown itself is the best crown of all time. My buddy Tim, he said that whenever he said it whenever he gave me this watch.
Which is a weird thing to say.
It was like,
but
dude,
now I
this
get
is the
it.
best crown that I've ever seen, and I just didn't quite really pick up on it.
Well, just
and then I
a
started
weird
messing
thing to
around with
say.
it. And
What do you
like,
mean?
you loosen the crown, and then it's like as soon as it gets tight, it just gets tight. Boom, it's tight. You don't have to like force it tight. It's as
You don't have
soon
to
as-
wonder if it's tight either. Like
No,
some
no,
Rolexes-
it's immediately tight. It's
Like, a couple of
immediately
mine,
tight.
I'm like-
it immediately seals, and then it's very easy to loosen. You just undo it,
Right.
and then it's tight. Boom. This thing, I think it's got a 50-hour power reserve, is what he told me. However, I watched a YouTube video that said that this has a 150-hour power reserve, which is apparently one of Blancpain's claim to fames. I
That's
don't know which one's correct.
So long.
I am more inclined to believe my friend than I am to believe a random guy on YouTube because we're the only good channel on YouTube. But
That is true. And the guy that loaned us
I'm
this
totally
watch
kidding.
knows.
Yes, he does. He
stuff.
knows his stuff, so I trust his opinion. But I'm not sure. We'll see. Really what comes to tell. But I'm excited to take some pictures of this thing because it is truly incredible. I heard a story too, which is very interesting. First off, they never really, I think, put much into their marketing efforts, especially early on. And I, still to this day, I think if they did, probably would be a watch that is just almost unattainable, just like all the other super, awesome, nice watches.
Well, especially because they don't make that many.
Right. They don't make that many of them.
Marketing 30,000 watches.
Exactly.
They'd be gone.
Yeah. So,
2 seconds.
I think that, there's, a lot of value in these watches. So I heard an awesome story, and this was back in the time when Blancpain was only making one watch. And so they only had one watch in their line.
Which is just kind of a
I
baller
believe
move.
the original owners or someone from the original owner family, and because I think Blancpain has kind of changed hands a good bit. I know in 1992 they were actually acquired by Swatch Group.
Let's
Which
go.
is interesting. So they're a Swatch company now.
Who's not a Swatch company?
Yeah, but I mean, they're relative to watchmaking, they're as important as it gets. I mean, it's like they're up there with the Breguet. I mean, they're not in the Holy Trinity, but they're with the Breguet
History.
history wise. I mean, they're in like that tier 2. If tier 1 is this Holy Trinity, this Vacheron, AP, and Patek or Patek, we don't know how to say that. Patek.
We're still working on that.
Patek. I definitely don't know how to say AP, so I'm going to always abbreviate that. But I can say J'ai le goût.
Yeah, you sound legit when you say that.
Shoot, I forgot where I was going. Oh, so interesting thing. Watches and Wonders, which was, I believe, originally Basel World.
Yes, failed or something.
Well, at Basel World in the 80s, I'm going to go with like 82-ish, like mid 80s, early 80s.
Okay.
Blancpain, they get reacquired by their original owners or the original owner family, right?
Mr. Blancpain.
Yeah, Mr. Blancpain, but I don't believe that's what his name was.
John Blancpain?
Jean something.
Jean
I actually do
Blancpain?
believe it was a Jean
Okay.
something. So they're going to Basel World, and everybody's to Watches and Wonders, Basel World. Everybody takes all their new watches there, and they release all their new watches, and it's like this massive spectacle, right? And they, are very lagging behind in their marketing efforts. Rolex being like this king of marketing, they were nowhere close. So they did something extremely interesting. They showed up to Basel World with no watches, and
What?
apparently they were the talk of all of Basel World because everyone was like, hey, did you hear about Blancpain? What's going on with Blancpain? And it was this genius reverse marketing effort
that
put
unreal.
them on the front stage of everybody's mind, and everyone was curious what was going on with Blancpain and their one watch that they offered because they didn't bring it.
That is wild.
Is that not crazy?
I wish I was there to experience
Right.
getting there and being like, why? What are you here for?
Can you
What were they-
imagine?
I can't. I'm trying to picture it now.
Can
Like,
you
were they
imagine
employees?
how much buzz would be in the news if Rolex showed up to Watches and Wonders with 0 watches?
Even if they showed up with one watch,
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
none,
Yeah.
no watches,
that's crazy.
absolutely insane.
Genius though.
So it was a genius marketing effort, and I think the whole point of that YouTube video and the point that guy was trying to make was if they had continued on those kind of marketing efforts of being like this front runner, you wouldn't be able to buy these watches today.
I've never seen one for sale, so that's very believable. But this is also expensive.
Yes.
And
yeah, they are expensive.
I'll
I
pop
don't
the
know
price
what
up on the screen of what this
brand
is
new
retail.
brand
'cause
new
we don't
retail.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure what it is. It's high though.
And I know they hold around that exact same value.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the price point is on this one, and again, this is not necessarily for sale from us, but
Right, it's not
we can
ours
connect
to
you
say.
with the person that it is for sale if you are interested. I think it's a really, really cool watch. It's something that would be, it's almost a must-have in a collection if you're
if you're a true collector,
a
this
true
is a
collector,
very
like,
important
you really
watch.
want to have that, and it's an extremely important watch.
Yeah. And
It's
just-
substantially
good looking.
more. It's substantially more attainable than a Daytona.
100%.
With
You haven't seen
more-
a Daytona on here, have you?
really with more history than a Daytona relative to watchmaking, but not in like the public eye.
The Daytona is a popular watch.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say it's a important watch in the history
Right.
of watches.
Yeah.
It does have a great history,
Yeah.
but that history is, 80 years old, let's
Right.
call it, or something like that. This watch's history is 300 years old.
Right.
So in terms of putting them side by side, this is much less recognizable than a Rolex Daytona, obviously, but this is more important in the world of watches. Some people may argue that because the Daytona is so freaking popular that it has gotten so many people into watches.
Yeah.
But
And the watch,
the fact that these are 300 years old, this brand is 300 years old, is absolutely insane.
it's absolutely insane. And it looks, now I'm thinking of it too, it looks big. It gets maybe a 42, I think.
It wears nice,
perfect.
though.
I mean, it really is. Like, this thing is badass.
Yeah.
I mean, through and through, this thing is.
And the strap.
Is just
Talk about the
truly
strap, dude.
awesome. I don't know what it's made out of. I was trying to.
We
avoid
decided
that.
it's made out of canvas plastic
It's like
rubber.
a canvas plastic rubber nylon strap with a ceramic buckle. I mean, everything on this freaking watch is ceramic.
Listen, this has to be waterproof in some way.
Everywhere. Oh, it's fully water. It's a dive watch.
No, I'm saying, that's the strap is. I didn't know if this was a Blancpain strap. I thought it was
a Blancpain.
aftermarket. But
No,
it
it's a
is.
Blancpain strap. Look at the buckle.
Yeah.
Look at the buckle. Which I don't usually love buckles,
Ooh.
but like it's a ceramic buckle. So like, come on, like that thing's badass.
And it's got Blancpain embossed here on the
Blancpain
inside.
everywhere, man.
Okay, so whatever material this is,
And to clarify, we have settled on Blancpain, not Blancpain.
well, it just we sound better. Blancpain, we sound like.
Hey man, I got me a Blancpain.
Yeah, like we sound like.
Just got me a new one.
That sounds dumb. Well, yeah, I mean, I think that this watch is very unique in a very cool way, and I'm happy we got to see
It's
one because
extremely unique.
I've never seen.
Yeah.
It looks like the.
We very much so appreciate the owner letting us test drive it for a day or two and get some pictures.
He's got a great
Hopefully,
collection too, so
he's got
maybe
an
we'll get
incredible collection.
maybe we'll get a couple more of his watches. This is a
Or
great
have
first
him
one
on the
to start
show
with.
one day. We'll have him on the show one day soon. As soon as we have Peter on the show, which a little foreshadowing there.
Should be soon here.
That should be very soon. As soon as we have that, we're going to open up the doors to guests.
Floodgates.
It's the floodgates.
Guests are going to make this show so much fun.
We've
It's
got
already
some-
fun. It's going to make it
absolutely.
even
We've got
more
some
fun.
special. We've got some special stuff coming. So something as we're talking about like ceramic watches, like you've got the Black Bay. It's Black Bay 58 and ceramic. The Tudor Black Bay 58 and ceramic, which
New strap coming
you
soon. I
guys
can't
have
wait
seen.
to
It's
share.
going to come on a new strap, and Nikki C is going to make that thing badass, which
It's
it
gonna
already
look
is, but
so
it's going to be
sick.
super sick.
Custom leather strap. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, he's got one of those as well. So,
Yeah. Maybe it would fit like a watch like this, and I could trade
it probably would. Yeah, it probably would. I found something that I found to be one of the most interesting facts of all time, which this is an interesting fact. Like the fact that Blancpain is the oldest watchmaker, and I just didn't really know much about him is just sad. Like I suck, and we're gonna get better.
I didn't know
So-
anything about this company
we're gonna get
before
better.
34 minutes ago.
Yeah, so I mean, and obviously, I didn't do the best job maybe of teaching here, but
We're
our trying to learn.
Though,
We're
is,
trying to learn.
We're
Trying to
scratching the surface.
Yeah.
That's what people care about.
yeah, so-
we need a deep dive.
I found the coolest IWC watches of all time. So
We will put pictures up as you say them because
it's difficult to find.
they're
We
very.
will find.
You're gonna
find,
have to. I'm giving you that homework.
You do in 5 minutes.
What?
Okay.
All right.
All right.
What's
do
your
it.
homework?
I'll find it.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
You said it's
So,
difficult.
It is difficult. Yeah, I like. Yeah. All right.
Your homework.
Okay, I got this. So IWC in the 1980s, I believe it's 1985, 1984 to 1995, they came out
Shout out my
with
here.
with ceramic watches, with color ceramic watches.
Which is
Oh, and on the Da
Difficult.
Vinci models, the Da Vinci model is they're like old school, like looks like a stopwatch in a way. But it's on like leather strap. I believe some of them are on bracelet, but I believe mainly on a leather strap.
Yep.
And they came out with them in a white ceramic, a black ceramic, and a teal blue ceramic.
Which
All
is like
with-
I've
all
never
with
seen
gold,
again.
all with gold accents. The pushers for the chrono are absolutely incredible. It's got their perpetual calendars.
It looks very luxurious.
Maybe it's not a chrono. I guess it's a perpetual calendar.
I think it's
What
a
do the
perpetual
pushers
calendar.
do on a perpetual calendar?
I think it's a perpetual calendar moon phase.
It is.
And I don't know what the pushers do. I have no idea.
I don't know what the pushers do on those watches either. I've never owned a watch that complicated.
Once again, we don't know a damn thing.
No, but we're learning. And you guys are watching us learn. Literally in 2 years, we're going to be fucking experts. And people are going to be like, how do you guys know so much? I'm like, go back to fucking episode 15.
You're going to watch how we figured it out.
Watch us figure shit out just slowly and just prove to you that everything is figure outable.
Yes. Figure outable.
Another trademarker.
Mm-hmm. We could trademark that.
Dedouchetize?
Assistant, please trademark dedouchetize and figure outable. Add it to the list. There's no assistant over there, by the way.
That's a wall.
That's
wall why I'm laughing.
And a light.
I'm laughing because that is a wall.
I wish.
So we'll put up pictures of these watches, but it is just crazy to me that, first off, you can find them right now for, well, if you find one. I see that the last one sold for around $12,000 to $18,000. Now, a modern day Da Vinci perpetual calendar is about $30,000.
Okay.
But these in ceramic, in a white ceramic, in a black ceramic, I've never seen a blue one for sale. The blue one is absolutely insane.
And that color just hasn't been replicated in ceramic.
The fact that black ceramic and white ceramic was coming out in the 80s and in the early 90s is just mind-boggling. Like IWC was so far ahead of their time,
and they're not even
doing that, right?
They're not.
And the perpetual calendars, and you get them under 20 grand, like that complicated of a watch.
Yeah,
a perpetual calendar. I'm not sure if it's a perpetual calendar or if it's an annual calendar, but I think it's a perpetual calendar.
I think it is with a moon phase. I'm pretty based on the photo. Yeah. I didn't look too much into it, but
yeah, for that watch to be available with the history that's there and like potentially being the first or some of the first colored ceramic watches. But it might be the first colored ceramic watches.
I mean, I try to think of something else, right?
In the 80s, dude.
Like
right?
AP,
like what came out in the 80s?
AP is known for it, right?
Now.
But now. That's what I'm saying. Like, and they just, everyone thinks they broke the internet by coming out with a blue ceramic watch. But like, hey.
I'm going to show y'all. You're going to see the picture. If it's not already up on the screen, it's up on the screen now. Boom.
Yep.
This watch broke my mind.
Will you get one?
Dude,
you want one.
If we could, that like, now I'm all in on this vintage hunt, and I don't know how this works. I don't know how. Maybe you'll see real time how we do it. I'm gonna figure it out.
I was just gonna say that could be a cool thing for us to.
We're trying to figure out a hunt vintage. I will find this blue watch, and if it's under $100 million, maybe we'll get it. But it looks like it might be $100 million.
Yeah, I mean it's.
And I'm not.
I've never seen
it's
it
a hyperbole, obviously, but like it probably is gonna be like over 20 grand. In which case, I would not buy it.
Yeah.
Yet, not in my current life.
I do think we should. Yeah, we can keep the viewers in the loop with hunting for stuff like that because vintage. We have slowly, it's an interesting world, but like we went from shiny, new, we love new to like slowly transitioning into like old watches are cool.
Because the stories are so cool.
Yeah, you learn.
Stories are so sick.
Exactly.
And that leads me to a closing remark here.
Yeah.
Last episode, we mentioned a giveaway, which you're going to see more
We have to post about this on Instagram. I'll take full responsibility for not doing that.
We're going to post about this on Insta. This right here is a very cool book. It's called A Man and His Watch. It's full of stories about watches and the people who wore them. Mm-hmm. That said, one of my favorite things about what we're doing is getting like people sending me stuff and sending me their watches and sending me pictures of their watches, whether it be on DM or Snapchat or old friends, and reconnecting with them. We want to hear more of that. We want to see more of that. And that is the whole premise of our giveaway.
Yep.
So what we're doing is we are asking you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and either text us, DM us, however you want to get us, write us a freaking letter. I don't care. Tell us your favorite watch story. That's it. All you got to do, tell us your favorite watch story.
Yep.
And subscribe to us on YouTube. And
you can get the book.
You are entered into the giveaway. And I promise you this book is worth it to just have on the coffee table. Let it sit on your counter. It's fun to just pick up.
So you just open it to a random page, read a quick story, and shut it.
Just pick it up and enjoy. Cool. And I would really appreciate hearing some stories because it's one of my favorite things to hear and see is just some really cool watches and some really cool stories. And we've already gotten some cool submissions, but I want to see more. So
send them in. We're running out of time.
Short epi today.
Yeah, we like the short epis. If you guys like the short epis,
we like the short epis on Friday mornings when we're trying to release by like in the next hour.
Yeah, and we have shit to do.
Not convenient.
All right.
But worth it.
Like, review, subscribe, share.
Comment.
Text us.
Tell your parents.
Get a billboard that has our faces on it.
If you have single sisters.
You.
What? What did I say?
Thanks for watching, everybody. Get this man a girlfriend, dude.